and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Health Walk family, please help us welcome Brother King Simon to the stage. Right, peace and blessings to you, brother. How you doing? How's your world? How's your life today?
I am wonderful. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, oh yeah, we can
Yes,
hear you
we
very well.
can.
Very well.
Welcome.
Wonderful. Forgive me for the tardiness. I had a client I had to deal with, but forgive me. I want like ask your audience to be forgiven.
Brother, you are the guest and you have already achieved forgiveness. We'll have to, the guest of honor we always wait for.
Yes, sir.
So, but
Thank
it,
you.
it, it
Thank
is
you.
an honor that you have agreed to come here for tonight's show.
Yes, sir.
And as we mentioned, we do know that you have a previous engagement.
Right.
So we want to,
We we can
do
go
what
over a
we
little.
can.
We can go over a little. And it's supposed to be 8:30, but they moved it to a little bit, so I could go to about
Okay.
8:50. So we cool.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
No
All
problem.
right. So, brother, this is the Health Walk. This is the place where we walk you on the path to wellness. This
Mm.
is my partner in power. Her name is Oriomi Oshadare.
Greetings. Pleasure to
Greeting,
meet you.
greeting, my sister, beautiful sisters. Good to see you, sister. Good to see you.
Good
Um,
to see you as well.
Thank
she
you.
is definitely an integral part of the show because she brings that. Look at it. Yeah, we always talk about you shy. You forgot. I know you personally now, so the shyness thing that ain't working no more.
That shyness
But
thing
she,
ain't working, but I can see it. I can see it in her names that she could be shy. I can see it in her name, looking at the numbers connected to the name. So I can see it.
yes, yes,
A
absolutely.
beautiful thing.
Um,
Thank you.
so as I said, how are you today, brother?
Man, I am wonderful. I am wonderful. I am back in New York. I was living in Georgia for a moment, but I had to come back and take care of my mother and deal with my mother here. So
Yeah,
it's always when you're a young man, you go and fly your wings, but sometimes when your parents get older, you got to come back and deal. And
yeah.
my sister and I are dealing with certain things with my mother, so we want to make sure she's all right as she
Okay,
is moving forward in her second childhood,
okay.
going back to
Well,
the energy. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all
yes,
about.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So
Peace
I'm
and
going.
blessings, and that goes out to your family, and
Yes, sir. Thank you.
in this time. So,
Thank you.
um, I sister, did you get the questions in the run sheet?
Yes, I have them, Baba.
Okay, all right. The
Right.
thing we do here, brother Simon, is that
No problem.
sister Oriomi, she pitches the questions.
Okay.
So, so if you have any issues with the questions, it's
Not
not me. It's not me. It's all on her.
if y'all gonna go, we gonna go.
But of course, Baba, as usual, if you have questions, just jump on in.
Yeah. But before you start your question, I like to do this. I want to do this because when we read these bios, Baba, they are
Yes, sir.
so professional. They are so, I want the atmosphere that we kind of bring here is we want it to be a family environment.
Yes, sir.
So outside of this professional bio that was written up that I stole off of, I think it was LinkedIn.
I think no. WordPress. That's my WordPress.
I got this one off of LinkedIn.
I got it in
Wasn't a
LinkedIn.
word.
Okay,
Yeah.
I forgot I was up there. Hey,
um, tell us who Brother King Simon
yeah.
is, please.
What you want me to tell you?
Tell us
Because
who King
I got,
Simon is.
I've lived so many lives in
Mhm.
this realm, and I believe many of us have, especially from going up, But what I'm most proud of now is definitely in this era of my life, being 59 years of age, about to turn 60.
Hmm.
It's the numerology and using and creating numerovation for something to last longer is very important for me. I even put it in the lexicon dictionary. The word numerovation was created by me. Put it in the urban dictionary, but the urban dictionary didn't count because anything could be put in the urban dictionary.
Mm.
But the lexicon dictionary has to build algorithms. Thanks to a doctor friend of mine's named Dr. Angela Moten. She said, King Simon, if that she'd been looking up my word and she noticed that it didn't hotep didn't it wasn't in the dictionary at all. So they said I've created new words. So I had to go through the whole stint of putting the meaning, where I got it, the language, the Spanish from the numero and the Bayesian and all that, got into all of that. And they accepted it into the dictionary, but it's one of those things that it has to build an algorithm over years. You know, and I always reference this, although it's not the best reference, but you know, somebody like Beyonce, born September the 4th, who can put a word like bootylicious out there and it become algorithm in 1 year in the dictionary. Now it's in the dictionary. Boom. Because she has that energy. So I got it. So, but minds have to build. And I realized that throughout my life that I always had to work, especially doing what I love to do. I always had to work. And I realized that in my numbers also. So, but I've been a promoter since I was 12. Professionally, it's been doing it for 30 years, from reggae to consciousness to hip hop and all that type of stuff, and all music, of course. And I've been a disaster preparedness, still a disaster preparedness instructor when it comes down to. I kind of left it alone because our people are more reactionary and they're not proactive. So it's best for me to stay proactive with myself and keep on forcing myself on people, because you can only guide people to the water. You can't make them drink, just like a horse.
Man. Absolutely.
So it is what it is. So a radio personality, television personality, was number 5 on the reggae charts back in the day. Did a lot. Television shows. I've had television, radio shows on major radio stations and all that stuff in New York. And again, across from Canada all the way down to the Caribbean. I was doing a lot of stuff on the East Coast. Nice. And in England and all of that stuff. A lot of people heard my music back in those days. In 89, this is 89 now. This is not like yesterday. So, but everything was conscious.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, other than the club life, of course, but I was always promoting conscious songs, conscious entertainment. So a lot of the reggae artists you hear out there, like a Buju, I seen when he started. Beanie Man, I've seen when they blew up. I was working.
I like that.
But well, Vibes is more new. I've worked with Ninja Man. I've worked with a lot of people from back in the day. The Gregory Isaacs, the Dennis Browns, all the great ones that I've worked in. And then when going to R&B, I've worked with people like Chico DeBarge and a few other people working alongside as a promoter with that. And at SOBs in New York, we had world beat music for many years, and I was running a segment of that in New York. It's still open now for 40 years, and they had Fela. I met Celia Cruz. I met Tito Puente. I've met all these people. So I had a good life growing up. Into this business in New York. So yeah,
but I have to look up your catalog after we get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Catalog.
Well, they would call me a one-hit wonder, although I did do an album, but my one hit struck the nerve of many people, called Black and White Story. And matter of fact, I turned that particular song into a children's book called Let We Tell the Story.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful colors, and I had a great illustrator to run the colors in, and a very beautiful Black History book, a Black History book in just a few moments in this book for good children.
Where can that be purchased?
On Amazon, and plus I put it in your private chat where they can link to all my link trees and my number that they can text me if they want to book a session. But my link tree has all my books. I put it in the private chat. So
all right,
we'll put it up on the screen when you're ready. Copy and paste.
Definitely put that up.
Yeah.
So what do you mean when you say book a session?
When they want to book a numerovation session.
Numerovation session.
Yeah, numerovation. Okay. I call it numerovation.
All right. That deals with numerology.
Yes, motivating people with their numbers.
Okay, so
yes, go ahead.
I don't know where I should start. The question that's just popping in my head is, I heard you say it earlier when you were talking about the name. What do you mean when you say a person's numbers? Like, do you mean their life path number, or is it something more than that?
It's more than the life path, because your life path is figured out through adding your month, the day, and the year that you're born. But the month has its significance, the day has its own significance, the year has its own significance, and what it equates to, it has. So look at numerology like your body. Every organ serves the greater good for the one. You know what I'm saying? So every number in your birthday and your name that's connected to, because your name, the words or the name that you have is also connected to a number. Where in the Chaldean, your name with the O, that's connected to a number 7, and the Pythagorean is connected to a number 6. So I can look at all those that whole word and that whole name and see the dynamics of. That's why I said I can see where the shyness can come from, just because of that 7 energy. And you got a lot of, I see the O, the double O's with the two O's in the first and the last name according to what you have on the screen. And that shows me that there's a certain amount of, to be into yourself is very important. Meditation, intuition is very important to you.
It is. And this is interesting because this is actually my spiritual name that came by divination.
Exactly.
So even though it's not my like birth name on my certificate, like I always found it amazing how literally what you said is like what my name means in the language.
I don't know the language, so I just looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the language of the numbers, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, and they always say like the language of numbers, like it's universal. So like I just feel like that just proved it right there. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's simple, you know, but I love it. I love what you got. I love the spiritual name because I've had many spiritual names throughout my journey, but you always got to look back at your parents because that's what you came through and they gave you that for a reason.
Right.
And it tells you about the power and with your name. Now, let's go to the name real quick because the name reveals your gift, talents, and skills. So whatever you add on to what you receive from your parents, you're just adding on more energy to it. So when you take on a spiritual name, I've taken on Islamic name, Hebrew name, Muslim name, spiritual. I've had all these types of names throughout my journey on this planet, but I had to go back and reflect on the challenges with my parents that helped me to heal and understand them a little more, but still keep my spiritual names when I need to use it in different circles. You know,
chills.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you chills.
No, it's a good thing. I love it.
Okay, good. Yes, ma'am.
I just think names are so important. You know, it's like it's like cosmic DNA, and I believe it brings an energy. And what someone calls you every day, or even greater, like what your parents named you to be called the rest of your life, I believe it does have an effect on your trajectory or your path. So this is great already. So how did you get into numerology? When you were saying your bio, you would have never guessed that numerology was a thing. You know, it was about music and show business and radio. So how did you come into it?
Because a lot of that was happening simultaneously. A lot of that was happening simultaneously because my grandmother was the beginning. She was born June 22nd under master number energy, that 22. And I remember, my family is from Jamaica and Cuba, but they came here in the late 30s and 40s because they were midwives and they was helping out doctors and, helping nurses and all that, came to, assist with a lot of stuff that was going on and also teaching midwifery and all of that. So I grew up with midwives and doctors in my family and lawyers in certain parts of my family. Then you had the ghetto ones, but my grandmother on the other side of the family, but my grandmother, she, Lillian Alberta Walter Scotland, she was born in Cuba and grew up in Jamaica and came here, and she used to send birthday cards. They had those elders would know that the big boxes of cards they used to have back in the day. And she always knew how to send these cards anywhere in the world because she birthed a lot of children, came out. She was a midwife to a lot of people. She used to send cards, so she remembered people's birthdays, and she always sent it to them. And we always had to go to the mailbox and drop it off. So she was really the introduction to why my interest and piqued the interest of why I love birthdays. And then at 14, I went into the 5% Nation of gods and earth, but talked about the mathematics and numbers and all that. That also helped me along the way. And then from 14 to 16, 17, I went into the Ansarullah community under Imam Isa, who now they call Dr. York. Yeah. And he was teaching Islam, but he was also teaching the Islamic numbers because he was talking about over it is 19, and he taught a whole lesson on the 19, the Abjad, and then he went into Nubian Islamic Hebrew, where I was there also, where he got into the Hebrew aspect of Islam and its connection to the Hebrew or the Judaism and all that stuff. So I was learning from there, and then from there I left there in 88 and went into the Nation of Islam. And the Nation of Islam, I had a dream while I was there in the Ansar that I was going with Minister Farrakhan, and that when I left there in 88, I went right into the Nation under Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and the great Khalid, yes, and Minister Farrakhan, trained by those two in New York City, Temple number 7, one of the most successful temples from back in the day. You know, so yeah. So and they of course they was into the mathematics, and the messenger always taught that mathematics is Islam and Islam is mathematics, and it
Yes.
always can
Yeah.
stand true and be proven at any given time. So I remember those lessons, and we knew we had to learn the lesson, we had to know the supreme wisdom, we had to do all of that. So mathematics was definitely a part, numbers was definitely a part of my journey through all of these different organizations, and that's what. And the Catechist in '89, actually, before I joined the nation, was Lloyd Strayhorn, because I was on radio with I called in while he was on Gary Bird's show, and Gary Bird, Imhotep Gary Bird in New York City back in the day, and I called in, and he read my name and my birthday like a book, my first name and my birthday like a book, and that just said, you know what, I gotta study that. I gotta study
That's
that.
what did it for you.
Oh, that's when it got me into more, dealing with people on a personal level, and wanted to deal with that. So that was it.
Yeah, Baba Lloyd he's a
Baba.
master. Yeah, he
Yes,
definitely is.
Yes, he is. He is. And that's what got me.
I see you have a question here, Baba, about Baba. Is this the same Baba that you're referencing?
Yeah, Baba Lloyd Strayhorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Brother Simon, can you go a little bit more into your relationship, I guess, with Baba Lloyd and how it formed, and I guess how he most influenced you, and I guess where you guys are now? He's still living.
He's still an elder. I just spoke to him yesterday. I just spoke to him yesterday. He will be with me at he'll be vending at my event with Anthony T. Browder that I'm doing in Brooklyn, New York.
You got Brother Anthony coming up.
In Brooklyn, Nicholas Brooklyn. Yeah, the tickets
real
are
quick
available.
Before you answer that question, here's the link to that.
Yes.
Wow. It's a small world.
Yeah, Brother Tony
is
a student to our Nana Kwabena Brown in the Temple of Inyame.
Yes, I've heard of Nana Kwabena.
Yeah. So
that's my teacher.
Small world.
Wow.
Very small world. A lot of powerful people, a lot of powerful influence, though.
And I've been watching, T. Browder, Anthony Browder from the Browder Files. I've had it, but he always used to come to the UAM with Ultimatics, and I used to be right there since I was young. So I was there, Slave Theater, back in the day. So I know exactly who the brother is, and finally got him on my show yesterday, which was a very unique conversation. And we went there, and he texted me and said, "Very informative, brother, very informative show." And you got to bring it out of these elders, because they're not going to be here with us. I've been around Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, the Barashangos, the Dr. Khalids, and all these great ones, man. And booked a lot of them. I worked with Dr. Khalid in Montreal, Canada. I brought him to Canada back in the '90s. So, but it's we gotta really love and respect our elders, because when those trees go to the other side, they leave up, the library goes with them. If we don't
get it, if we don't get it,
so it's very important. But so, sister, Lloyd is from '89. It's been, me and Lloyd have been good and tight. And when he realized that I was on radio, also I was on the top one of the black radio stations in New York called WWRL 1600 under Bob Law. That's where we really connected back in the early '90s, and then we became friends ever since, man. We never stopped being friends, and he respected me. He even wanted to name one of his books after my name that I call Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. That's one of my books. Lloyd said, man, he wish he had that title, because he's been doing it for so many years. Numbers are simple. 1 + 1 = 2. But if you got two people born under that number one energy, one is arrogant and one wants to heal, then it's gonna be problems.
It is. So how many books have you written? Because you've talked about 2 already.
I have 5 books that's on Amazon, 3 that's 3 books that are ebooks that people can order through me. But the 3 books that are an ebook is called The Spiritual Lessons. But on Amazon, I have Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important. Numerovation for Mental Stability. No Promotion is Bad Promotion, Just Spell My Name Right. That was my first book that I ever put up, because after I left the club life and the party life and the stage show life, I wrote about it and made residuals from it. And I want to thank the late, great Dr. Laila Africa, because I self-published my first books, and then he took those 3 books, No Promotion is Bad Promotion, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, and Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important. He took those 3 books and he republished them and refined them, and now everything on Amazon if you support those 3 books, you're definitely supporting Dr. Africa also. Because that was my Baba. I used to stay with him at his house all the time. That was my brother. Before he passed on, I was at his house.
Another beautiful elder. Yeah,
my
such a
brother.
beautiful brother.
Yeah, yes, that's a brother, man. I used to bring him all the time. He's hilarious when he's private at his home, and he was an accomplished pianist.
Oh, really?
He played the piano. He self-taught the piano, self-taught himself the flute. I mean, not the flute, the violin.
So just musically inclined.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I don't want to get too much into that story because I did interview his wife, but he had got shot at a young age and died legally. And then and at a young age in a school, I believe, in a bathroom. And then by the time he came back, he didn't remember everything, so he had to relearn. So he thought learning all of that, studying Sigmund Freud and studying this was what you're supposed to do as a child growing up.
He was just a genius.
By 21, he wrote the first book. By 21, his book was out, ready to go. He was just doing his thing, man. His wife told the story on my channel. And he told it on a lecture, too, that I had years ago in Harvard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you shout out your channel for us, for those of us who don't know?
It's King Simon Presents right here. It's right here. King Simon Presents. And the finisher of it is one of my teachers gave me the finisher name. Is King Simon Presents Only Quality People. So Les Brown is the one that gave me that word.
Les Brown.
Not a motivational speaker.
I used to study under Les Brown. I used to study. He came to New York. He was on radio in New York and for a few years, but he used to have classes for free at the New Yorker hotel for a whole month. And I went to I think I missed one class, but I went to every one of them. And he gave me a drop for my radio show at that time and everything. So Les Brown is my brother, man.
He's influenced a lot of motivational speakers around the country and the world.
Yes, he has, man. Love him, man. Yeah.
So going back to one of your books, forgive me if I get the title wrong, but I believe it was Numerology for Mental...
Numerovation for Mental Stability.
Numerovation for Mental Stability.
That's right.
So one of our questions on here is, how can numerology benefit us in our daily lives? And it sounds like you've kind of written a book that shows how it can benefit us mentally. Can you elaborate on that? Because I've honestly, outside of angel numbers, I don't really know much about numerology. And on a deep level, and I actually wanted to ask you about angel numbers later, and are they valid? But we can jump into the mental stability first, the practical numerology.
Hey, well, what's so interesting and about that is that I studied also about the World Health Organization. They call it WHO, and they said there is no health. The quote is, "There is no health without mental health," and I put that in my book. And the great Dr. Fletcher, Arthur Fletcher, used to run the Negro, American Negro College Funds.
Yeah.
He coined an old saying. He was born the 22nd of the month of December. And he coined the old saying, "The mind is a terrible thing to waste."
Yeah.
That was his saying.
That was his, okay.
Yeah, his saying back in the day. So because I went through my own mental issues and I didn't see a book out there, and I remember reading Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill saying, "Find a need and fill it." So I found a need and filled it because I didn't see a numerology book that focused. They may have talked about it, talked around it, but they never focused on mental health and mental stability. And this book was supposed to be a tribute to women first. And then my friend that was supposed to be on the cover, a silhouette of her, she took her life.
Oh my goodness.
And I said to myself, and then after she took her life, my best man from my second wedding took his life. And then when I looked at their numbers, you wouldn't believe what number they both were born under, the number 13.
Wow.
And 13
number of transition.
Right, number of transformation and transition and depth in the debt card, of course, it's tarot. But 13 adds up to a number 4, and 4, according to my studies through the pattern cycles, the sequence of it, is one of the mental health numbers that I very pronounced in my book. That's like 5 significant mental health numbers that when it comes up, when it shows up in your cycle, when you're born under it, you got to be very careful and learn to balance your thoughts off. And those 5 numbers is the number 4 being the first one, number 7. So people born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month. People born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th of the month. People born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. And on the totem pole is 5 and 3. On the lowest of the totem pole is 5 and 3 because usually they're known as a jovial number, but that's also a number connected to nervous breakdown, insomnia, and all of that. But nervous breakdown can lead to depression. So 5 people born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month, and people born on the 3rd, the 12th, or the 21st, or the 30th of the month have to be careful of their mentality. Their mind, protect their mind at all costs, where the mind is a terrible thing to waste. You have to protect it. I've noticed the patterns since 1989. And then when I looked at my own family on the mental health situation, one of my grandmothers was born on the 7/7, born July 7th. She was in a mental health facility. My grandfather, my great-grandfather, who I didn't know his birthday, but his name, Claude, added up to master number 22, and 2 + 2 = 4. I started seeing patterns. I started seeing these patterns and said, oh, now I see why I need to write this book. And then I started seeing it in celebrities like Robin Williams and celebrities like Lynn Toler, and celebrities like Kerry Washington, celebrities like Beyonce talking about going through mental depression. So they're born under these numbers. I said, oh, and that's when my mind started going, and that's where I had to go with the mental, because although each number have their health connections, there's 5 primary numbers from my perspective. People might find other things, but from my perspective, those 5 numbers, which in the nation of gods on earth, 5 represents power, you know what I'm saying, and refinement. So those 5 numbers was key to me that I kept on seeing. Even when people took their own life or unalived themselves, they were either in a cycle of that, or they was in a personal month cycle, a personal year, or even a personal day. It popped up. And so oh yeah, it gets deep, and I keep it simple. And again, family, disclaimer, I'm not licensed anything as far as mental health, but my talents and gift to see those trauma, because I've been through it myself. And then I made sure I put recommended readings and people's contacts. Even suicide hotline is in my book, just in case. You gotta put the disclaimer when you're dealing with these things, because people will take this and go elsewhere. And we don't want you to go elsewhere, because I almost went elsewhere without knowing. But when I look back at my patterns of my life, when I thought about doing certain things like that, I realized what cycle I was in. And I wasn't holding on. That's what made me even get more in depth in understanding the numbers, because numbers reveal patterns, cycles, and sequences. And if it's a metaphysical science, you have to observe over time. You have to pay attention to the repetitiveness over time. And you have to measure it and see its measurement over time, and how it goes from different parts of life, different eras of life. You know, so people suffered from mental issues, and I noticed that when I looked on AI recently, and I told them reveal all the celebrities or famous people that, man, you'd be surprised, but a lot of them kept connected to the 3, a lot of them connected to the 4, a lot of them connected to the 7. I was like, whoa. And they gave me a whole list, which I'm more than likely going to talk about one day.
So those are those 3, 4, 7s.
Oh, the primary numbers is 4, 7. Those are the primary 2. Then 8 is right there in the middle. Then it's 5 and 3. So it's 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3. Those are the ones that I've noticed the patterns. You know.
Okay. All right.
So on the flip side, what would the numbers be for, I guess, a person who's just more prone to living a happy, joyful, having a strong state of mind?
But just remember, all the numbers have their positive and negative. So even those numbers that I mentioned to you, it's just that they have to, from let's say you're dealing with somebody born on the 1st, the 10th, or the 19th, or the 28th of the month, because it breaks down to the number 1. In order for them to maintain any type of good health, they have to be creative, constantly creative. They have to constantly put their creation out there and have a creative mind, and always be willing to be straight to the point, be direct with their creativity, and focus and don't second guess themselves.
Mm.
With somebody born on the 2, 2 deals with companionship and finding union. So they work well with others. They work well with teamwork and so their healing would be the teamwork, because 2 is also a healing number. All even numbers are healing numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, all are healing numbers. But on the positive, but on the negative, if 2s are not, people born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th of the month, or the 29th of the month, have to be very careful of energy vampires, or allowing energy vampires to take them on. So and note, let me say this before I move on. Wherever these numbers show up in your chart, in your numeral scope, you have to pay attention, especially if they come out in your name in abundance. If there's a lot of 2s, or there are a lot of 1s, or there are a lot of 3s. And again, like I said, 3 is a number of nervous breakdown on one level, and nervous issues and low blood pressure. But on its high level, it's about being jovial, happy, loving comedy, loving to dance and enjoy. Go to an African dance class, go and dance with your wife, whatever you got to do. With that 3 energy, people born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month. But also they got to be careful of being reckless with their mouth, because that's a number of communication and expression. Going to the number 4, people born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month. Again, it's a mental health number, yes, but yet it's balancing your mental health by doing the hard work, doing the shadow work, doing the work that is necessary to keep your mind at a higher level. It's very important for people connected to that number 4. All right. And again, I'm just touching surfaces here. You know, because there's much more when you go in my books, or go in Lloyd's book, or go in any numerologist book. But I'm going directly to one thing, because I'm born February 1st, like Rick James. So because I'm born
what a person to share a birthday with.
Right.
and Langston Hughes and Dennis Brown, you know, and different people. So, you know, so I'm born under those same birthdays, but they're always, those people born on the 1, they always direct, they say what they mean and mean what they say. The 1 and the 9 always does that. And that's one thing Rick James was about. That's one thing Langston Hughes was about. That's one, they say what they mean. And even when they're writing, they get straight to the point. So most of my books is straight to the point subjects. Lloyd is a number 16, which is a 7. So he's a very astute, and he has to put every little nook and cranny in his book. He did, and that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? He put every me. I'm like, nope. I'm going to deal with mental health. Let's go right to it. I'm going to knock it out.
That's
cut through all the fluff. I want to, you know, but I read Lloyd's book is a dictionary to me. I always have Lloyd's book around just in case. I always have Lloyd's book. I love Lloyd. That's my brother.
That is interesting.
You know, and we leaving from the 4, going to the 5. People going on 5 again. Another mental health number 5. A number of adaptability and being happy and the love of freedom and change. They love that. That's why you can't really, anybody that have a lot of 5s, or born on the 5, or they have the life path of the 5, or their names have a lot of 5, you can't really put them in a pigeonhole them. You got to let them be free, or you're going to lose them. Let them be who they are. So if you're married to 1, I always tell my clients, look, this man or this woman will run away from control. They need to fly like an eagle. They gotta fly like an eagle. So you gotta let them go, and they'll always come back because you let them be themselves. That's important. So
I resonate with that.
Why is that there? Why is that? Let me find out. When is your born day?
My number is 55. I think whatever number that you add up with that's your first name. It's a 5. And
okay,
I resonate with
that's you all day.
You need to be free.
I want to be free.
Before we go
always of life, like I need to be free or I'm leaving, and that's my pattern. Like
yes.
Before we go into
through the rest of the numbers, are y'all good? Or you want me to go through the rest of the numbers?
I just want to make this real quick announcement. We have brothers and sisters in here. I've seen some new faces that are in here. We're here with Brother King Simon.
Right.
He's here. He's a world-renowned numerologist. He's coming in and having a deep discussion about numerology and numbers. Numbers and You is Baba Strayhorn's book, right?
Of course. I always go show my brother. Yes, this is my brother. Yes.
But he's definitely just as accomplished as brother Baba Lloyd Strayhorn. So he's here. We having the spirit of conversation with brother King Simon tonight. If you are new to the Health Walk, if you're new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And
Please.
do your due diligence. Thumbs up the video, and continue to support us. So back to you, brother. I just wanted to make
and I shared it on my channel, so it's also broadcasted on my channel to show you love, so we can bring some more people over there. That's what I do.
All right, thank you.
All about sharing. You know, people don't realize that I'm a, you know, Queen of Four told me, because Queen of Four and I are good friends, and Queen of Four, and she's Lloyd's contemporary. That's who consults. That's what Lloyd actually does her consultation at Ian Levanzant. But she comes to me too, because I come with a whole another twist, but still keep the foundation. But Queen of Four said, Simon, you're always an introducer and an initiator to make sure everybody is all right. Because every time she wanted to find Dr. Africa or Dr. Savy, she had to call me because they wasn't answering her phone. They called me, and then I make the connection. Hey, Queen is on. I will call her back, Simon. I'm sorry, I didn't know who phone number that was. I'm sorry. And Bing, and she always says, Simon, how come you always make the connection? They call me in the cardology. They call me the Jack of Spades. So that's what that does, you know.
It's your energy.
It's all about lead. But I think we was up to 6. We was going into 6 next, right? I think that's where we was going with the numbers.
Yes.
If you want to skip to 9, that's fine as well.
Whatever.
Why would you want to switch to 9? What's up with 9?
We almost finished.
I was being selfish.
That's what 9's got to be careful of. Interesting that you said that. That's the negative of 9.
Oh my God.
Look, he read you already.
I know.
I mean, even if you go in Lloyd's book, let's open up the Lloyd's book real quick. He says it's the number of humanitarian, courageous, competitiveness, resourceful, and spiritual. But the negative is narrow-minded, impulsive, argumentative, heartless. You got to be careful of the negative. And if you add on, selfishness is also one of the parts. You're supposed to serve humanity. You're not supposed to be selfish.
That's not her.
Unless it's something if you're going to be selfish, you got to be self-fullness, where you're going back into healing yourself to come back out to serve the greater good. And with that spiritual name, I know that's what you come to do anyway. You got to come and do what you got to do. But let's finish off, because people are listening under the number 6. Let's go to the number 6, because people already heard the 5. I know people like to hear all that. Big up to y'all that's tuning in. Number 6 is a number of healing and balance and truth, justice, reciprocity, ma'at. But also number 6 is that number of beauty and forgiveness. So when I see people with a lot of 6s in their chart, life path, born in the 6th month, all of that, something you have to forgive, especially with family, because 6 relates to family and finding family balance. Again, all even numbers are the numbers of balance, keeping everything on even scale. So, and 6 on its negative is be careful of being hard-headed and jealous and gossipy. You know, they got to be very mindful of that. 7 is usually known in religious circles as the number of God, because he, the 6th day, and then he rested on the 7th day and all that good stuff. And that has a significant meaning. But 7 in numerology is one of the numbers of reflection, introspection, deep research, looking within, a law of attraction, going and finding and refining yourself to the point that you don't take nothing on face value. So people born with that 7 energy, not only on the negative, you got to be careful of worrying and overthinking, especially for people born on the 4 and people born on 7. They got to be careful of overthinking, because 7s, I tell people born on that 7, don't overthink things, especially if it's positive or productive. Just do it, because it is a law of attraction, and what you throw out there, it comes back to you. And 7 looks like an arrow pushing to the right. If you look at it, it's always like it's pointed somewhere, and it's pointed up. So it's telling you to think on a higher level. It's one of the old soul numbers, the old energy numbers. And then 8 looking like the infinity symbol, but it is not. But if you're going to go to symbolism, numbers are symbols. And if it looks like an infinity symbol, just like if it looks like a duck and quack like a duck, it's a duck.
It is a duck.
So 8 can be considered an infinity symbol erected, and 8 deals with karma. What goes around comes around, and both positive and negative. 8 is also 2 circles on top of each other, dealing with the build and destroy aspect of the circle, one going clockwise, one going counterclockwise. 8 is also the number of money and power, but it's also the loss of money and power if you're not disciplined with your money. Because you can lose money if you like my life path is a number 17, which is the 8. And 8, I've always had money in my pocket. Money always came to me, whether it's from gifts or all that, it always come to me. But if I didn't know how to discipline myself and how I invest my money and how to spend it properly and how to make money back and have multiple streams of income, because that's what 8s have to do, have multiple streams of income, and they have to be philanthropic. They have to be a philanthropist. Yeah. They have to give and they get back, because it's a karmic number. What goes around comes back around, both positive and negative. And then last but not least, Nine is the highest single digit number in the chart, and 9 represents, of course, higher levels of thinking on the positive, humanitarian and service, higher levels of aiming for truth, justice, and serving the greater good of humanity. That's what the 9 came here to do. 9 is another old soul number. The old soul numbers that I've learned in certain systems of numerology, also Lloyd would contend and say and back me up that 4 in a minor way, but 7, 8, 9, and going into the master numbers would be considered old soul numbers. So when you have those numbers that show that like you like a lot of old school things, old school music, old school traditions, pull you back into things. Those old school numbers always look towards that. And 9 on the negative can be very destructive because it's connected to Mars in the signs that every one of the numbers are connected to planets. Every one of those planets are connected to certain energies that you have to be very mindful. And 9 is connected to Mars. And in astronumerology, like Lloyd does, 9 is also connected to Scorpio and Aries, where Scorpio brings the passion, Aries might bring the warring energy and that exertiveness. But 9 is also got to be very careful of contentions and getting into arguments. So I always tell people born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, please take the higher road, even when you get into arguments, or as long as nobody put their hands on you, because it's still a warrior's number. You still, I think 9 should learn martial arts, how to defend us, whether you're a woman or man or whatever, learn how to fight, yes. But fighters in martial arts that I've trained with for many years, we always learn to avoid the fight. Yeah. Not get into the fight. You know, in the art of war, they taught that.
Martial arts.
You know, say it again.
I was just saying that's the true art.
Yeah, that's the true art. Healing, because even if you know how to maim, you got to learn how to heal. So we always get into Tai Chi or Qigong also in our later years. But when we were battling, we were doing Jiu-Jitsu and Shotokan and Karate. We were doing all that stuff. But that's all the Yang energy when we were supposed to do some of the Yin energy, which is breathing the eternal work. Because Yin and Yang don't argue with each other. They complement each other.
Right.
You know, that's why I don't understand why men and women are going against each other in this day and time. But I do understand because I see what's being put out there. And then when you get to master numbers, people that's born on the 11th or the 22, 11, although it adds up to the lower octave of the 2, is a portal. It's a doorway between the spiritual and the physical realm. It's here to bring the equilibrium of the 2 together and to balance it out. And whatever you get download or upload from the spiritual realm, you're supposed to initiate it, because it's also known as a fame and fortune number. So, and it's an expansion number. So when you're in an 11-year cycle, or your life path is 11, you have to be careful of energy vampires, yes, but you also be able to tap into your intuitive energy to know when to move and how to navigate. So numerology is like a GPS. It helps you to triangulate what's going on in your life to get to where you got to go. You know what I'm saying? And then last but not least, I'm looking at calendar days. I'm not looking at 33 or 44. There's no 33 or 44 in the calendar date. But the 22 is the master builder, the master teacher, the master architect. So whatever person born of that 22, because 2 is also a very highly intuitive number, now you're having the double 22, you're having the 2-2. That means it's here to build things. And you notice it says build because it adds up to the number 4. That's but it's a master builder. Most of the prophets that I've broken down the numbers to in the English language, the main prophets, you find that their names either add up to the number 11 or the number 22. Prophet Muhammad's name add up to a number 29, which equals 11. Moses' name in one system adds up to 22. Jesus' name it adds up to a number 11. So
wow.
I see these things again. I'm studying patterns, cycles, sequences, and I'm looking at the what's popping up. So I know that the people who translated a lot of these books knew something about either Kabbalah or knew some form of numbers. Definitely, because and then when people that are in the religious world that might be in the Bible and y'all Bible babblers and Bible thumpers, y'all got to remember there's a book of numbers. Y'all got a book of numbers in that book.
Yes.
How the
There is a book of numbers.
You don't run away from the book of numbers when the book of numbers is teaching you about a census and the count of these different tribes. The Creator understood counting.
Yeah.
People, and then in the Quran, if you're against that, it says in the Quran over it is 19. I remember one of my imams in Sunni Islam, because I went through that too.
What is an imam?
Imam is one of the teachers of the Islamic masjid, and
just like a nana or
like a nana, yes. And it was Imam Siraj Wahaj. He was one of the top imams in Brooklyn. You know, and he used to be in the nation. And I was going through some issues with my wife at that time, and we went to get consultation because she was a little against my numerology and all that kind of stuff. And as soon as I broke down this book, numbers are simple, people are complicated, he bought the book right out of my hand. He said, Brother Simon, and my Muslim name was Muhammad, Abdul Muhammad. He said, you know, there's a gray area with astrology and numerology. He knows that they studied it in the Islamic world, but because people end up worshiping it, that's the problem. Instead of worshiping the sustainer of the planet and the whole world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what he said. So, you know, he said, I understand that you don't do it because I even make sure I preference that in all my books. You don't worship numbers. You use it like a GPS. You use it like something to help you, guide you, because numbers came out of us. We didn't discover numbers. We had to finally recognize that it was with us all the time, and it's from our Creator. 10 fingers, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 32 teeth, 10 toes down. What are you doing? We got all this. One heart, 2 lungs, 2 kidneys. We got all the counts. We have all the patterns in our system. We have it there. It's just not, we needed to discover it one day. And last but not least, let's go to the 0. Because a lot of people, this thing that we're on was predicated and built off of the 0-1 energy. Numerology, we got 0 represents feminine and 1 represents masculine. The 2 must come together. The 2 must come together. That's how we produce and create things. Let's stop playing. And I'm just saying, no disrespect, no guarantee. I just did the symbolism to show you that the 1 and the 0 must come together. Simple as that. And that's what we create, and that's what we produce out of it. 0 represents the infinite power. It represents the womb energy. It represents a covering, a protection. So anybody that have 0 in their birth chart, like 10 or 20 or 30, they come with a lot of extremities, because 0 comes with extreme positive and extreme negative. And I studied celebrities that ruled these, was connected to these numbers, went through their extremities throughout their celebrity life. Mike Tyson, LeBron James, Tiger Woods, Tyrese.
I forgot about Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
You remember that movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Shaft. Shaft. Yeah, it was man. I love that. You know, it's funny. Before that movie came out, I met John Singleton on the train. He was scouting out 42nd Street around that area, and nobody recognized him. But because I used to work with Spike Lee as a security guard in the Nation of Islam, we had a security team called the X-Men. So I used to work. I remember John Singleton, and I walked up to him, real cordial, and say, "Hey, respect your work." Boom. I used to do work with Spike Lee, so you don't have to worry about me calling you out. Just shake his hand and walked out. I just walked away from him. Nobody recognized him. By the time he got to his stop, he left. May he rest in peace. Nobody recognized him. And somebody came to me and said, "Was that who I think of?" Yeah, that was him, but you ain't get a chance to go grab him.
Outstanding. He wasn't here for you to be a fan.
Yeah, you got to be strategic when you see these celebrities. I'm never really celebrity driven, but I do respect artwork of cinema. I do respect cinema. I love cinema. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's the
Anybody? Hey,
game.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
No, you good. You good. We're gonna let you rock, bro. We're gonna let you cook.
Yeah,
Beautiful
I
thing.
finished to 22. I went to 22, so we finished and went to 0. So please, whatever any questions you still have, my family.
Okay. Let's pitch to the audience. If the audience has any questions, please put them in the chat so we can answer any questions you may have. What time did you have to
About the 50, about 8:50, like I said. Yeah, I could go.
Okay.
Remember I told you I had a little extra time. Yeah, so 8:50.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's
What else we got
8:39.
on the run sheet? Mama Oriana?
Can I ask one question?
Go
You
ahead.
can ask whatever you
Go ahead.
So, just about observing patterns, and
Yeah.
it's back to the angel numbers, of course. I
Good,
know
yes, go
there's
ahead.
a more scientific name for it, but are angel numbers real? Like, is there a meaning behind the phenomena that if you're in a certain period of life or
Right.
a certain space and you keep seeing these sequence of numbers,
Yes.
you know, does that have any validity to it? Like the universe is trying to send you a message, or a certain energy is around you at that time, or
Right.
is it just?
No, man, that's a good question. You know, don't throw it off like that. It's a good question. If you're seeing it, there's something that is being told to you, because sometimes your ancestors could be talking to you. Divine parents could be talking to you. What we call angels is the same word of angels is the same word of angles. So if you're seeing angels, it's reminding you, what angle should I take? Am I going right or going left angle? Which way am I going with it? Because it's just like seeing 111. And even if you Google, and I tell people Google them up or AI it, whatever they're gonna do, but you always got to remember, where there's an angel, there's a demon. So if you're not doing the righteousness of that angel, what are you doing? Because even during the gangster years when they was playing numbers, they seen angel numbers too. That's why when you watch the Hoodlum and he said 235, that means death. But they understood what it mean, because that was very highly promoted back in those days when it comes to those numbers. They seen 4. You think Al Capone didn't see 444 or 333? Oh, yes, he did. But he decided to stay on the path of doing the negative instead of paying attention, because he wasn't meant to tap into that type of energy. But notice when we seen Bumpy Johnson and their people started talking about that number, those type of numbers, they went straight to the meaning and they took out the person, because that person found that number because they understood, because they came from that background of understanding the connection with what we call angel numbers. You being in the system that you're in, understand that there are higher forces around you, and sometimes these higher forces have to talk to you through numbers and say this, and sometimes the bombardment of numbers comes so fast. Especially if you're connected to those master numbers. You might be connected to master number 22 if I broke down all your names, or master number 33 or 44. So when you have those connections to, or master number 11, when you're connected to a master number 11, whether it's in your name, your spiritual name, or the constant name that you constantly use, number 11 is also the number, again, like I said, seeing the spiritual side and bringing it to the physical. So if you're seeing something that nobody else sees, because you could be in a car and you've seen 444, nobody else seen it. It's like, what? I seen 888 and nobody else seen it. That means you are tapped into the algorithms of that spiritual angel or angle, or what some people might call synchronicity numbers. Synchronicity, or what Carl Jung used to talk about synchronicity when I read his book. So I read scientists' books, because although it's a metaphysical science, science is still there. Your meta only means beyond the physical. That's all. But now Michio Kaku, scientists like this, they've changed the language and now putting in his book meta material, because they don't want to connect themselves with metaphysics, but they will talk about metaphysics from their own perspective, because even the maverick scientist Nikola Tesla understood. And I read his autobiography. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can you elaborate on I hope I'm not mixing anything up, but isn't Nikola Tesla
right?
The man who came up with the 369 theory, or talks about the 369
principle? Yes, yes.
Could you explain in the little time that we have left a little bit about what that is?
From a numerical perspective, from a scientific perspective, he recognized the patterns of 369 keep on coming back. That's what he recognized.
Mhm.
From a numerology perspective, the study of numbers, the 3 represents expansion and growth. The 6 represents healing and balance. The 9 represents higher level of understanding of humanity. So when you constantly see it, or if you're going to accomplish certain things and you feel that 369 is important to you, and using that, you do things 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. When Nikolai Tesla started seeing patterns in the universe, or patterns in front of him all the time, to a point that when he didn't understand it, if you read the autobiography is it's thinner. It's about as thin as my book here, my children's book. Very thin. That's autobiography, because they get right directly to the point. And I love that they went directly to the point, because what did I say about the number 1? Number 1's like to go straight to the point. Nikola Tesla is born July the 10th. he went straight to the point with that book. So, but everybody else that want to elaborate and fantasize about him, he was just focused on what he did. At one point, he's seen certain things near the lake. And if he didn't understand it, he would go and sleep, and then he'll get the message. He'll get it. He'll get it back. Yeah, he was intuitive, but they won't talk about him being intuitive. But yet they're taking all of his plans and all
this stuff from him.
July 10th. That's a Cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's very water energy, very intuitive. Even with Terrence Howard, he's born. Yeah, I love Terrence Howard.
Man, they raked their brother across the coals, man, and he came out with some information.
They crucified him, but I feel
it didn't.
Go ahead. Keep going. His patterns enough. You got to remember his patterns that he had. You know, those are all patents. I mean, his patents that he have is all his, and they're used. Some of them are being usable.
Yeah, they're being used.
Know what they do it, and so he came up. Okay, 1 times 1 equals. All right, so everybody, when he did that, I said, I got to buy the books that he's reading. Sure enough, I started buying Walter Russell's book.
Figure out what this guy's talking about.
And I got his book. He was giving it away for free.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me write these down. Walter Russell.
Yeah, anything by Walter Russell, because he quoted Walter Russell, because Walter Russell was like one of those mathematicians that they kind of put him to the side, because a lot of his theories they didn't understand it, and of course, so he kind of brought it back. When you go into his free book on the whole theory of 1 + 1 = 1 times 1 equals 2.
Is it $1 dollar?
Like
plus
you're
$1
always
equals
labeled as crazy,
something like that.
I
go back and look at his video.
Yes, yeah, man. I when he was on Billy Carson's show, I told Billy, I said, man, that was a powerful show. And because he's born on the 11th of the month, he is downloaded.
Yeah.
He is uploaded, and watch his lecture at Harvard, I believe, or in England. He was at either Oxford or Harvard.
It was Oxford he was at. Yeah.
Yes, and he was talking about what he's seen in the womb, how he was able to like pay attention to things going on, because babies do recognize, but they don't know what if their hand passes around, they don't know what that is yet. He was talking about all recognizing and seeing certain things. So I know he's a master number. And he's very intuitive, just because being born on that master frequency showed me he's a master number. Even when people used to dog out Miss Cleo, Camino, she was really into that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think she was a Shango priestess.
Exactly. She was into all of that. But because she was a mom and pop store that got taken by the big market, they try to give, they try to have a whole bunch of other people pull cards when they was not her. The whole call-in was, you thought it was her. The first intro, if you ever called in, because I remember calling in when I was younger, and you hear her voice, but then they pass you on to somebody else.
That's not her.
That didn't know what she was doing, didn't know herself. So she was the real deal. Especially when I broke down her numbers, she was born August the 12th. And when you add that 8 plus that 12, it adds up to 20. And 20 is a very intuitive number. And it comes with extremities. That's why she was able to promote and do extreme things with her communication of that number 12, which is a 3, which is that expansive and communication number. So I've seen it all in her birthday. I said, oh, wow, she is the real deal. But she was just not ready for that, because everything just, 2 white men controlled her name. If you watch the documentary,
they took advantage of her so bad.
Let's flip that and say that wasn't ready for her.
That wasn't ready for her. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
We got like a 1 minute.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If you don't mind, can you answer the question 22 is my life path.
Right.
Can you go into that just real quick, real brief?
Well, I think they was putting it in when I was speaking about 22. So yeah, 22
Okay.
being a life path, that means it followed you throughout your life. And 22 means that you're a master builder, but you got to stop doubting who you are and what you can do. Because sometimes that 2 energy, remember, because it's a master number, you could be a master doubter of yourself because there's a negative to it. So a lot of master number, and remember, anytime you have master number frequencies, remember, with great power comes great responsibility. And if you're not willing to live up to that responsibility, then you can become a master criminal, master destructor, because 22 can be a very destructive number. Alongside 33, although 33 is the Christ anointed energy or the Christ consciousness, it could be the antichrist consciousness, the other side. You got to look at both sides of the coin. It's not one doorway. The doorway got both sides. It comes in and out.
Whatever you come up, it goes down. Yeah.
So you got to recognize that. So people born with that life path, you got to use it to build and strike a blow to the global market because you're not limited here. Sam Cooke was born on the 22nd.
Oh my goodness.
Reggae artist Shaggy was born on the 22nd. Professor James Smalls is born on the 2nd. You know, 22nd. So I'm telling you. So you got to pay it. Chancellor Williams and Sheikh Anta Diop. One was born on the 29th, which is an 11. The other one was born on the 22nd. So you got to pay attention. They came to do some global things on an international level because 22 is not limited here unless they limit themselves. They're like eagles. But if you're not willing to fly like an eagle, you become a chicken and start clucking. And chickens don't fly. They just bounce around.
They just bounce around and eat shit all day, huh?
Exactly.
Right.
Hold on. I got a few more minutes. They just text me. I got a few more minutes. So give me I got until 9. Let's go.
Okay. Because I want to get into one.
Go ahead.
I just want to get into one.
Let's do it.
Okay. Tell me about one.
Oh, the number 1.
Yeah. That's my birthday.
When is your birthday?
11/1.
So now, see, again, again, look at, you're born the same day as a great numerologist that wrote this book, Kiro's book. This is one of Lloyd Strayhorn. He studied him too. This guy name is Kiro. He was so good and profound that he taught Queen Victoria. He was also predicting a lot of he predicted his own death. Which is interesting. And he died before his actual birthday. He died in his critical cycle. And you got to look at the 11/1 and also the year. But because your alignment number is a number 12, when you add that 11/1, it's a number that says you have to be a writer. You have to be able to articulate. You have to speak. You have to expand on anything you do. And you should turn all your pain, pleasures, and passion into profit. And be a leader in that field. Be the leader in that field. Don't limit yourself, because I'm looking at the alignment number, and the alignment or the achievement number is when you add the month and the day. And now, because your alignment number say aligning with expressing yourself, I know you love good music. According to that alignment number, there's some good old school music that you really like to pay attention to, and that calms you down and keep you. And when you get on that dance floor, you know how to cut a rug if you had to. So, but the one is also. That's what she said.
Let me find out Baba be dancing.
Don't let the Babas fool you, girl. They know they like good music. Don't let them fool you. The old school music is their music. And those were some good music where you could tell the difference between different artists back in the day. Yeah. You know, I tell people, matter of fact, one of my good friends, she's also into numerology. She's born November the 11th. And I tell people all the time that's born under that 1 frequency, it's the leadership frequency, yes. But also it's the number that says don't doubt your leadership qualities and be willing to write what you have to write. And like I said, be the leader of that field. Because even Michael Jai White, he's born November the 10th. Stepped out and
was all over the place.
Yeah. Became the leader of what he does and decided not to follow Hollywood all the time. He went his own route. And that's what ones do. I'm born February 1st. So we have similar frequency where my 2-1 adds up to 3. and your 11-1 adds up to a 12, which adds up to a 3. So you have a multiple dynamics. And like Dr. Africa told me years ago, when I first came out with this book, Numbers of Simple People are Complicated, he said, King, always look at things from a holistic perspective.
He sounds just like
Exactly. I'll tell you how much I was with him so much. Always look at it from a holistic perspective. That's all he used to say that. And I said, and that's what I started doing. So I don't just look at the one. I look at the full birthday, then I look at all the names. I look at everything. I look for angel or angle numbers in your name. I look for master numbers, because master numbers can show up in the double letters in your name. Like if your name is Morrison, you have a double R. Your name is Billy, you have a double L. And that intensifies the meaning of that name just because of that master number frequency that shows up in the midst of your name. So if you have a last name that add up to that's Morrison or Allison and all that kind of stuff, as long as you see those double L's, that's a 33. If you see that double T, there's a 22 and a 44. If you see that double D, that's a 44 in the Pythagorean and a 44 in the Chaldean. So I use multiple systems when I do consultation for people. Because I don't do readings, I do consultation, because I'm here to advise you and guide you. Because when you're in the higher echelons of the world, when you like Kiro or Miss Adams, who did J.P. Morgan back in the day, they wasn't called readers. They was called advisors or consultants.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to be a reader. I consult you with your numbers so you can navigate better for yourself, both positive and negative. I'm going to give you all. I'm going to be raw with it, because I even see molestation in numbers. I know when you can attract rape and molestation because it's happened in my family. And it's in my epigenetics. I see it. So I know when you can find even numbers, have to be very careful of that. People born under even numbers have to be very careful. Being born the 2, 4, 6, 8, you have to be very. So if your parents wasn't watching out of you, more than likely you got a close call or something really happened, or your cousin did something, or your aunt, you have to be very careful of that. That's what I noticed. And that's from studying the pattern, cycles, and sequences of people coming up to me or doing consultation and knowing. And then when I tap that, I say, I always tell people that, you have to be careful of family. You have to be careful of this. And, I've had people cry, all of that. They needed to release it. Then I'll send them to Queen of Fool, because that's above my pay grade. Y'all go, you want to do that? Here's Queen. Here's somebody else. Here's Jewel Pukrum. You need who you need? I got you.
I've done my job.
I got a cousin that's a Babalao, and you got Babalaos. I got all kind of people around me that I will refer people. If I know you're good, I'm not afraid to share the wealth. Go and learn.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? That's important.
So, if you definitely want to reach out to the brother, his information is right here on the screen.
Wow.
King Simon Numerator, and his text. You can text him at 347-496-1022. If you want to reach out and have a consultation, not a reading.
Yes,
right?
please.
A consult.
Consult. That's right. Because it just makes sense. Somebody born on Mike Tyson's birthday. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, why you laughing, sister? Don't laugh at me. I used to do comedy too back in the day, so don't mind me. I'm just a little wild.
We're all goofy on here, so
I'm a wild one. I'm a wild one.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah,
right.
That's funny. What's so funny that name, that number there, Mike Tyson has gone through some extremities, because again, that 0 behind that 3 deals with extremities in his life. Extremity. So this person have to be careful of going down the extremity. Although in compound numerology, that's why in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, I have 4 to 5 different systems in the book. And then I give you recommended reading in the back book. But that number 30 in compound numerology is the number of mental outlook and superior mindset. So they always have to maintain a mental high level of mental outlook. That's why as Tyson got older, you start seeing his mentality on what he studied, the things that he studied and war and all of that, and how he's able to speak and go into the toad and take ayahuasca and get into all kinds of stuff. So you see it as he gotten older, because at the end of the day, when 0 follows a number or any number, that also adds an old soul energy to it, because 0 is one of the old wombs, the old energy that we can pay attention to and use as a portal, even if you meditated on a zero on your wall and have candles. And I tell people, I used to do mirror meditation because I was in the Sufi order. I'm a card carrying member of the Sufi order since the 80s. And it's a scary thing when you're using that circle. Whether you're using the black mirror or whatever, or using a regular mirror at a low light and looking directly into your oval shaped eye or your eyes, you find what happens in mirror magic. It reveals who you are because you start seeing your skin peel while you're doing the meditation without blinking. You have to be, because you start seeing everything but you will see your real you because your eyes are the windows to who you are.
Yeah, that's that Black Mirror.
Yes, you can do the Black Mirror.
That's the series that who said that? Was it HBO that had that series on?
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was a good show. But when it comes to the Sufi order, it was different because what happened, that's the spiritual aspect and the esoteric aspect of Islam. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Muslims don't even go down that road because they know it takes you into numerology, astrology. You got the Black Mirror. What they call? What is the Abyssinian? What's the
Obsidian?
Obsidian, right? Obsidian. Some people use. I use a regular mirror because we didn't look at the Obsidian, but people like the first metaphysical teacher in the Americas was Pascal Beverly Randolph, P.B. Randolph. Mm-hmm. Go and get his book on mirror magic. He has a mirror magic, sex magic. He has all of that. His biography is good too. That's a very good biography. It's thick, but his biography. And people like H.B. Blavatsky and all of them, they hated him. They wanted to get him killed. That's why they said
Madame Blavatsky or
Madame Blavatsky. Madame Blavatsky. Yeah, they did not like him.
What was it? With Pascal? Was it
Pascal Beverly Randolph, born in New York? A light-skinned black man or melanated man. He was like the first melanated metaphysical teacher from the Rosicrucian science. And if you look at his picture, if you look at and Google up his picture and look at Tony Stark, not Tony Stark, look at Doctor Strange, you're gonna see something similar and where they got that whole metaphysical thing from.
I am intrigued.
Look at Doctor Strange and look at Tony and look at Pascal Beverly Randolph's picture. Just Google it up right now. You can look at it. You're gonna say, "Whoa!" Exactly. Stop playing. The whole look. It looks just like each other. Those two look just like it. Big up to Asir that pointed that out to us years ago because he was a comic book decoder. He pointed that out, and then I studied and I looked it up. I said, "Whoa, that's the truth." And so, man. Whoa, it's time to get ready to get out of here. Okay, family. But family, it's been fun.
Great. This was
beautiful. Before you go, Baba, Simon, everybody who comes in, we tell them that they are part of the Health Walk family. So we definitely want to bring you back in.
Yes.
So I'll reach out whenever we can put together another date to bring you in. Hopefully we can have you much longer than what we
maybe we can have me and Lloyd on there, man. Me and Lloyd to come up and tear this place
out. Okay. But I also had mentioned. Remember, I mentioned to you about doing a show with Baba Sam. Because Sam said he would like to do a show with you too.
Sam. What's
Sam Reynolds?
Oh yeah, Sam B.F. Reynolds. Yeah, I didn't know that was kind of mixed up with how you want to do. But yeah, Sam is my boy. Yeah. That's a good boy. He's born on the 22nd also. So
Sam's a trip. He's been on here 3 times already.
Yeah, I used to be at his Mystic Lounge years ago. So he used to have a Mystic Lounge in New York, and I used to be one of the consultants. He said readers, I said consultants, and I thanked him one time for making my numerovation better because that environment of the quick 10-minute readings or 10-minute consultation, everybody had to go around to different ones and finish off, and he trained us on how to finish off in 8 minutes and wrap it up and move on. And I thought that's why I'm so good at doing 10-minute quick sessions and move on, because I know how to wrap it up right in the time of 8 and then keep it moving. Sometimes I go over, but I actually called him and thanked him for that lesson. Because I study everybody and I try to learn from everybody. And when you say I'm a part of the conscious community, it's a conscious space. There's really no solid community. I heard you say that earlier. I told Phil Valentine, Dr. Valentine, I said, I'd rather be part of the conscientious community. Because conscientious means doing what is right. Conscious, a rat has consciousness. A roach has consciousness. Nowadays, this thing is going on. with conscious community. I'm not with the madness. That's why I stay away from it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been a part of it for a long time, and I just don't like seeing where the road went down. And I just want to be the CCC, the conscious community. You know?
Yeah. But you know, Baba Small said the same thing.
Yes, of course.
He said the same thing.
Yeah,
So,
God
but
told him about it too.
it's definitely been a blessing, and I mean, you have dropped some
honor.
seeds in the short time that you've been here. You dropped a wealth of knowledge, and we are definitely blessed that
Man,
you have.
get this book, man. This is part of it, and I give you recommended reading in back of this book. All my books on Amazon. I always give recommended reading. I got a new one coming out called Numerovational Chronicles for Relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that deals with not only names, but first names, but it also deals with what that they can do together. But it's for mental stability also. I'm connecting mental stability so people can, in relationships, at least tap in to help. Again, I'm just a part of the puzzle. I'm not the is all or be all. It's just a part of the puzzle. There's more modalities you can use, even religious or spiritual modalities. Just be open to use it. That's all I ask all of you out there. Be open. Be open. Don't close yourself off because you're in this system or you're in this.
Amen.
But don't close yourself off from that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let me tell you something. One of the best books that I ever got was The Biology of Satan. And when I got it, my first mind said, get it, when I passed by this bookstore, this book table in Brooklyn. The second thought said, nah, that's evil, because they had the. And when I read it, it was the biology of the biography of Satan. He broke down where the word Satan went all the way back to Set, into Kemet, went all the way back. One of the greatest historical book I ever read.
Wow.
Where this word came from, Satan.
Yeah.
So don't ever doubt your first thought. If it says get it. The second thought is the one that's going to put doubt. That's why in numerology, the number 2, negative of the number 2, is the doubting Thomas. Doubting yourself, second guessing yourself. The number 2. So that second thought is the one that's going to say, man, that's evil, man. Yo, you know you grew up in a Christian family. You know they're not going to like that. My first thought said, that's going to be a good book.
Right?
Yeah.
And I only paid $1.
Okay, I need to come to Brooklyn to get some books.
Priceless.
It's on the street when they're selling it over there, Eastern Parkway. They selling $1 books all the time. Books for $1 all the time, man. But thank y'all very much for allowing me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Brother. Blessings to you. Blessings to you, and be safe. And whatever it is that you're doing, be safe. And blessings to your family. And hope everything works well with your mom.
Thank you. And please follow me on Instagram at this same name, King Simon Presents. That's my same, and YouTube. That's King Simon Presents on YouTube also. So follow me on Instagram, and I do teach on Instagram. I teach on YouTube. I teach on my Facebook channel. I'm always teaching about words. I don't always focus on people's birthday, because remember, they say in the Bible that in the beginning was the Word.
Yeah.
And the Word was God. But in the beginning was thought, and then the Word. But I teach on words, and words like affirmation, or words that break down to numbers. I try to explain why it's important to understand the word, sound, and power of different words. Like I just broke down the word table, but the quote that I got from Brother Minister Nuri Muhammad was, if you're not at the table, you're on the table. Why not own your own table? So I broke down the word was table, and learn how to own your own table with positive intentions and aspects. And when I broke down the word table in numerology, oh man, some healing numbers popped up. This number, I was like, wow, look at this. So we got to pay attention to the words we say out of. You understand what the words that's coming out of my mouth? You got to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Beautiful.
All right, family.
All right, brother. Thank you again for being a part of this family again. And we'll reach out. We'll definitely bring you.
Where do y'all live? Where do y'all live?
I'm in Maryland.
I'm in Baltimore.
Oh, you're in Beaumont. Where you?
I'm in Maryland. I'm Frederick, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Right between DC and Baltimore.
I'm supposed to be coming to Dr. Baruch's place, Everlasting Life.
Everlasting Life. When is that gonna be?
That's my brother, man. I'm supposed to come over there. So we're gonna set up a date. We got, because I'm back in New York. He said, "Yo, I was in Georgia first, so I'm gonna set up a date." Yeah, we have some fun.
We go back years, man.
Yeah, me too. I had Dr. Baruch open up for Delbert Blair years ago. Back in the day at National Black Theater in Harlem.
Yeah,
So,
Dr. Baruch, Dr. Pukram.
yes.
I had Sister Senora Amen was on the show.
Ooh, yes, that's my girl, man.
Yeah,
See, other than that, man, me and her go
yeah,
back. We go
yeah,
back. Matter of fact, she gave me the first book on sex. She gave me the sexual kung fu and how to do tantric energy and all. Yeah, she's the one
okay,
that gave me that when she was living in New York. Her and I go
yeah,
back, and she's also a disaster preparedness instructor too. She was with us in disaster preparedness back in the day.
yeah.
8
She's a
times.
deacon. She's
So
another
yeah, me
deacon.
and her go back. She born May 8th. That's my girl.
Okay, yeah, and she and Nana Quabbin are like this, man.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
She has a store out there, right? She has a tea spot.
Yeah,
the Calabash.
Calabash.
Yeah, I gotta come
Calabash
out
tea.
there. I gotta come. I was on Karen Hunter's show with her. I was on Karen Hunter's platform because me and Karen Hunter used to work on a radio station together back in the day.
Okay, so you know Karen too, huh?
Oh yeah, Karen
What
Hunter's my girl, man. She'll tell you she loves
Daniel
me.
Favors? You know Larry?
Huh?
Larry Daniel Favors?
Larry, I know that name. Where I know that name
Yeah,
from?
she used to work. Sam said she used to work with him.
Yes.
back in the day.
Yes. I remember that name, Larry, man. But me and Karen go back from WWRL Radio, 1600
Okay.
AM. So we in New York, because she used to write for the Daily News.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my girl, man. Still my girl. She born April the 24th.
Yep. She throws that Aries out there real quick.
Woo!
She's quick to tell you she's an Aries boy.
Oh, no, not Karen Hunter.
Yeah.
No, Karen is a Taurus.
Oh, Taurus. Yeah.
Yeah, she Taurus.
That's
her,
right.
Her and Greg Carr is like right next to each other on birthday.
Yeah.
He's April the 27th.
Okay.
Yeah, she's April the 24th.
And
my mother loves her because my mother's another Taurus, so they she loves her on radio. So that's what they do. But man, thank you. I know I've been over time, man, and these people are waiting for me.
Well, you go. I don't want to get you. Definitely don't want to get you in trouble. But it's been a blessing.
They know me. They know how I am.
Yeah.
They told I was on another interview, so I told them I was on another interview. But a pleasure, man. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be well.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love to you as well. Thank you.
Right. Baba. I like him, Baba.
Yeah. That's first time me having a conversation with him. What's going on with my mouse?
It didn't seem like it.
Okay, what's going on with my mouse?
Uh-oh.
I think the charge ran down on it. But anyway, that was a beautiful show. And
it was. Yeah, give me a heads up next time, Baba. You be bringing all these big names on here.
Well, I didn't know him
I don't
personally.
be aware. Mommy, my mom's on.
Oh, really?
Nutrition James. You missed it, Mommy.
Blessings to you, Mama James. How are you? Peace and love to you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming and seeing your daughter do her thing.
Mommy, this is Bobby Malik, my temple brother, my partner.